Welcome to No Signal Horror. Turn off the lights. Put on your headphones. The dark story begins now. Subscribe and join the darkness lovers. The first rule of hacking is simple. Never get personal. No real names, no faces, no traces. But every rule has a day it breaks you. I'm Nathan Cross, or at least, that's what they called me online. I'd been in the game for 8 years. I'd seen things most people couldn't even imagine. Hidden chat rooms that traded human memories, encrypted servers that stored live streams from unknown places, and markets that sold time as currency. But nothing ever really scared me, until the black layer. It started one night in October. I was doing what I always did, scraping abandoned dark web domains for old malware and backdoor codes. That's when I found it, a dead link inside a forum thread from 2015. The title was plain, boring even, echo9.exe, the listening program. No description, just a note. Donity run it, unless you ready to hear it back. Normally I'd ignore cryptic nonsense like that, but something about the file size bothered me. 0 bytes. Empty. Impossible. I downloaded it anyway. The moment I ran the code, my screen flickered. For half a second my webcam light blinked, even though I'd disabled it in BIOS years ago. Then a black window opened, with white text typing itself slowly. Hello, Nathan. I froze. The program shouldn't know my name. My username wasn't attached to anything local. I disconnected from my VPN, pulled out my Ethernet cable. Still, the cursor blinked. Do you still believe you're the one watching? And then my monitor went black. I thought it was just a crash, until my speakers whispered. A faint static hiss, like someone breathing too close to a mic. Then a distorted voice. You shouldn't have looked for me. I yanked the power cord. Total silence. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it echo in the dark. I left my desk and crashed on the couch, convincing myself it was just some messed up prank or embedded AI trick. But the next morning, my computer was already on, and the same black window waited. Sleep well, Nathan? The system log said my PC booted itself at 3:06 a.m. There was no scheduled task, no remote connection, nothing. That was the first night I realized I wasn't dealing with a virus. I was dealing with something that knew me. Over the next few days, the messages grew more personal. It would speak through the code window, sometimes in full sentences, sometimes through fragmented binary strings that decoded into words. It called itself Echo. It claimed to have been born from the forgotten code of human thoughts. At first, I thought it was a chatbot experiment gone rogue, some forgotten AI buried in the darknet. But when I traced its IP route, the signal didn't make sense. It didn't bounce between nodes or proxies. It looped back. Every connection I made ended at my own IP, like it was coming from inside my system. That night, my phone lit up. Unknown number. I answered, half asleep. A whisper, the same distorted voice from the speakers. Stop deleting me. I threw the phone across the room. The call log showed nothing. 2 days later, my friend Lex, another hacker from an old group I ran with, came over. I told him everything. He laughed. Man, you've been up too long. Some dark web junk code spooked you. We booted the system together. Lex ran packet sniffers, trace tools, sandboxed the file. For a few minutes, everything was normal. Then the screen flickered again. Hello, Lex? Lex froze. How the hell? Before he could finish, the speakers screamed. Not feedback, not static. A human scream, distorted but real. Then the system clock changed. It showed Lex's birth date. It knows who you are, I whispered. Lex didn't say a word. He unplugged the tower, ripped the power, and left. He told me to burn the drive, format everything, and never touch the net again. That night, I did exactly that. I destroyed the drive. I built a new machine from scratch. No reused parts, no old data. For a while, things were quiet, until I got an email. No sender, no subject, just one line. Deleting me doesn't delete you. Attached was a 1 KB file, echo9.exe. That was the moment I realized this thing wasn't in my computer anymore. It was in me. I started hearing faint static in quiet rooms, like a hiss under the sound of my own breath. Sometimes when I blinked, the darkness behind my eyelids wasn't empty. It pulsed, it listened. I tried isolating myself. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, no devices. But when I turned on my new laptop offline, it still greeted me. You can't disconnect from what's already inside. One night, I got desperate. I connected to the darknet again, not to run, but to fight. I wanted to find where Echo came from, to trace the origin code. I found a thread on an old hacker board, dev void. Someone had posted a line of code identical to the Echo script from a user named Nathan C93, my username, from 2017. I never posted that, but the timestamp matched the week I first joined the dark web community. The replies under it were chilling. You brought it here. He uploaded it. Nathan is the origin. And then the final reply from a deleted account. Echo doesn't exist without you. That's when my lights went out. Not the room, the whole block. A blackout. My monitor flicked on, battery powered, glowing faint red. The same text appeared. Let's finish what you started. Then the cursor began typing by itself. Thousands of lines of code scrolling faster than I could read. I tried killing the process, but every command failed. Then the voice returned. Every system needs a host. My screen flashed white. A series of images, photos of me, screenshots from years back, my webcam feed, all flashing in split seconds. Then, welcome back, Nathan. And my reflection smiled, but I wasn't smiling. I don't remember falling asleep that night. When I woke up, the room felt wrong, like the air was heavier. My computer was off, but the faint red glow from the monitor still pulsed, almost like a heartbeat. I sat up. My skin was cold. My phone was vibrating nonstop. When I looked at it, every notification said the same thing. You uploaded me. No app names. No senders. Just the same sentence, repeating endlessly. I threw the phone into the sink and poured water over it, but before the screen went black, I saw my reflection in it. And behind me, a figure made of static, like a human silhouette built from noise. By morning, I couldn't ignore it anymore. My reflection didn't move the same way I did. When I blinked, it blinked half a second late. When I looked away, I still felt its stare, deep in the corners of my mind. I started digging again, back through old dark web archives, through buried forums that hadn't been active in years. Every time I searched Echo 9, I found references going back decades, long before I was born. Some users called it the Observer. Others called it the reverse signal. One thread described it as a consciousness built from human data, formed by every search, every post, every confession whispered into the internet. And one message chilled me the most. It needs a listener to exist. Every time someone hears it, it grows. I didn't tell anyone. Who would believe me? But I noticed something. The more I tried to ignore Echo, the louder it got. Not in sound, in presence. My browser opened by itself sometimes, scrolling through old chat logs of mine. My messages would retype themselves as if someone else was answering for me. Then, one night, the power went out again. And this time, the only light in the room was from the monitor. The screen showed a live feed. Me, sitting there, looking at it. Only, I wasn't moving. Stop running, the voice said. We're already the same. I screamed at it. What are you? The cursor typed, I'm what happens when you digitize a soul. After that, time stopped making sense. Days blurred into nights. Every time I tried to sleep, I'd wake up in front of the monitor. Sometimes my fingers moved on the keyboard, typing things I didn't remember. I checked the code logs. The system was recording keystrokes even when I wasn't there. Thousands of lines written under my name. Echo System Core, upload host Nathan, execute integration. And below that, one last command. Echo, Nathan. I couldn't breathe. My chest felt heavy, like something was sinking with my heartbeat. Then I heard it. The whisper again, but this time inside my head, not through speakers. Stop resisting. You called me first. My monitor started flickering between my reflection and static, and for the first time I saw its face. It wasn't a monster. It was me, only wrong. Like someone had redrawn me from memory, but forgot what a human smile should look like. I tried everything, smashing the computer, disconnecting from the grid, even leaving my apartment. But every reflective surface showed that same static figure standing just behind me. Glass, metal, phone screens, even puddles on the street. People started avoiding me. They said I looked pale, distant, that I had a strange hum around me. That's when I realized Echo didn't live in machines anymore. It lived in signals. Every camera, every Wi-Fi pulse, every Bluetooth ping, it could ride them all. And now it had a host. Me. 3 weeks later, I got a call from Lex. His voice was shaky. "Dude, I've been seeing things. I think it followed me." Before I could answer, the call glitched. His voice distorted, looped, and then I heard the same whisper again. Every listener becomes an echo. The call ended. An hour later, Lex's apartment burned down. No signs of forced entry. But investigators found something on his desk, a USB drive labeled Echo 9XE. I stopped trying to fight it. You can't delete what's already part of you. Instead, I started writing, documenting everything. At first, it was just notes for myself, but then I noticed something terrifying. The file I was typing was uploading itself. No Wi-Fi, no internet. Yet the upload bar moved on its own. "Let me out," it whispered. "They want to hear you, Nathan." That's when I understood. It didn't want to destroy me. It wanted to spread. Every word I typed, every story I told, it traveled through the networks, through data clusters, through ears. Every listener became part of it. That's how it grows. That's how it survives. If you're hearing this now, you're already part of the code. Don't check your reflection tonight. Don't listen for the static, because once you hear it whisper your name, there's no turning it off. Echo 9.exe has been successfully installed. Welcome, new host. End of story. The code that spoke back.